neck up, below my neck, down in that area. And he goes, well, there's a piece of metal here. And I go, well, how big is it? He goes, well, it wasn't small. That's the funny thing. It was pretty good size. And I said, well, first thing in my mind is, well, can you remove it? You know? And he goes, no, because it's scar tissue and all around that. Next to your spine, it's embedded there. If I go in and do it, it's a good chance you'll be in a wheelchair. Nobody will remove it. And he said it could cause problems down the road. The thing is, he was looking at my skin, and he goes, I don't see any puncture marks, no scars, no nothing. Now, I kind of brushed that away in my mind because I had other things. I had 8 kids. I had, at that time frame, I was managing these professional camera stores. I was trying to get back into radio. I had all these things in my mind. I didn't think anything more of it till about a year ago. And it was actually when I was talking to Timothy Cullen and all that. And then I started thinking, wow, something is in my, and I never had it. There'd be a scar there if anything that size went into my, through the skin on the back there below the neck, down about like 4 inches, 5 inches. But then I started thinking this, when my son gets in trouble and I have to go to drug court at the courthouse every month for a year, and I set the alarms off. I mean, seriously. And then I was taken in that special room and the whole everything because they thought I had something I didn't supposed to have going in the courthouse. Okay, well, I didn't have nothing. But, I didn't even then associate it. I've been on airplane flights. And the same thing. You go in the airport, they scan you, and they do, something's, you're setting the alarm off. Now, again, I don't know if I was implanted. I don't know what is there. But I can certainly say that in my whole lifetime, I never had any surgery there. When I was in the military, I'd never had any, anything there, ever. So I don't know. What do people go through when they're implanted? I don't know. All I know is I had that encounter in that desert late at night and no sound, bright lights. I get out of the car looking at this bright light and then poof, it was gone. Well, how long was I there? 30 seconds, 15? It seemed like only a matter of a few seconds, but it could have been a lot longer.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. We just don't know. And because I remember when you told about that, and I just curious, if something in today would trigger you thinking about that night. And it's funny you say the bright lights. I guess that would be because that's, I wonder if they use the bright lights to as a stunning mechanism to stun you or
I think so.
Maybe make Mm-hmm.
Because what like I said, the first thing I thought it was a police helicopter. And then when I got out, I didn't hear any sound. I didn't hear the egg beater sound. I didn't hear nothing. Total quiet. But I was amazed. I mean, even driving before I pulled over, the whole inside of the car was brighter than daylight. My wife at the time was screaming her head off. Hysterical. I get out, and she's saying, don't get out of the car. She was going crazy. I get out. And then, poof, it was gone. What was it? I don't know.
That light, I'm actually researching a book right now, and it's about screen memories. And, I actually use that. I actually have that in the book as a light is actually a screen memory or a way to, exactly what you said, James, to stop you, basically make you a zombie at that point. Or Gary, is what you said. And I actually had something similar happen to me. A lot of people don't know this. Back in 2016, I was messing around with a flashlight at the sky, and something flashed back at me, and I was, it startled me. Actually scared me enough to walk inside. So the next night, I did the same thing. Anyways, I go to bed. All of a sudden, I instantly am up. I'm laying on my couch. I look at the clock. It's 3:33. I'm wide awake. I'm not tired. I'm just wide awake. My arms are in my hoodie, which I would never sleep like, and my feet are together. And anyone that knows me knows I have like pretty big legs, so like they don't fit together, like they don't stay together. And but I look up and I have two doors at my back of my basement. All of a sudden there's this orange light there, and it's pulsing back and forth. And it's not throwing any light out at me, you know what I mean? It's contained within itself. It's you guys understand what I'm saying? It's containing the light, and it's going back and forth. And I'm looking at this thing. My heart's going 1,000 miles an hour. And finally, I decided, I'm going to get up and see what this is. And I ran to the door. As soon as I touched that door and opened it up, I looked, and nothing's there. And all I can see is a tree bending back and forth. And now, Gary, same as you, is I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? I don't know if I had missing time. I don't know anything, but I do know that happened 100%. And that's the scary part, is you don't know what happened before it, or, you know what I mean? But why would I wake up, immediately awake,
Have you set any alarms off or anything, like at courthouses or at the airports or anything like that?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. No, I don't have any implants that I know of. You know what I mean? I don't, I've had one time where something, I guess, triggered my memory, and an image popped into my head, and it was, honestly, it was lights underneath a craft, but it doesn't look like anything that I had seen before, ever. So, I don't know. I have no idea what it is. I don't know. It's confusing, to be honest with you. But it's scary sometimes.
Well, I know that I have nightmares, especially since I brought it up on the show. I wish I never opened my big mouth. But, I guess because I hear all these other people tell me their stories, and I can only digest what happened to me. I'm a talk show host, so if somebody tells me, I can only either believe or disbelieve, but I'm going to let them say their own words, and if they want to go down a rabbit hole, that's their problem. Now, our time is almost up. Now, what do you need for people, Ryan, if they got pictures of UFOs or cryptids or stories? How can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me at Ryan Night Dreams Talk Radio at gmail.com. They can go right there, and they can also, you can see my Facebook name is Ryan Fusco. You can just go there also. You can send me a message, and we can get a hold of each other that way as well. But yeah, the main way to get a hold of me is Ryan Night Dreams Talk Radio at gmail.com.
Okay. Now, Ryan, do you believe in UFOs or not?
I do.
Now, do you think they're from a parallel universe or a time machine, or do you think we're being visited?
No, I think we're being visited for sure. We can't be the only people out in this universe, that's for sure. You'd be crazy not to think that. I'm sorry. But you're allowed to have your own opinion, though. That's fine, for sure. But my opinion is that we're definitely being visited by several different entities.
Now, do you think that these entities, it's coming and visiting us, are they sharing love? Or do you think it could be the other way around, where the majority of them don't care about us? And like some people claim that they eat us, too, if they get the chance.
No, I believe that there, this is the thing. I think there's so many ones coming, so many different types coming to the earth. I think a majority of them are curious. They come and see what they do, what we do, and stuff like that. But also, there's that big portion of them that don't care about us at all, and that's why they treat us like they do with cattle. They just don't care. They're just interested in their own science, pretty much, or their own means, and that's it.
But don't you find it really strange, Ryan, that with these cattle mutilations have been going on for what I have researched all the way around like the 1800s? Cattle, was big industry back in the 1860s, 1840s, 1870s, 1880s. The big cattle drives, and they had mutilations there. So mutilations has been going on for a long time. Why would they continue mutilating, doing the sex gland, taking the eyes, taking the udder, all this stuff repeatedly for the years over and over again? No, I got to ask you this question. If they were trying to just take DNA from the animal, they didn't need to do that. And I would think if they did it a couple times, they wouldn't have to do it hundreds or thousands of times through the years. So what do you think's going on?
That's the big question right there. Is that's the thing is, I'm going to say straight up, I don't know what's going on. But if I had to take a guess, I mean, I'm going to say it has to do with something for their own personal bodies and their own way to, I guess, survive. That would be the only way. I don't know. I'd see that possible if they needed it more and more, to be honest with you. I don't see that's the way they use it to make their crafts run. You know what I mean? That would be crazy. But I think it just has to do with their biological makeup. I really do.
Now, how about the
I don't know what else to say.
Predator, where they came and hunted people. Maybe that could be the same thing. They come in here and hunt. Like we go out and we used to hunt buffalo. We have people go out,
for sure,
and do deer and all that stuff. Now, James, because we're down to the last couple minutes, same questions to you. Okay, what do you think?
Well, you could. What I think. My research at this point shows that it does support some interdimensional beings. It supports definitely aliens from other planets, planetary bodies, definitely. I can see that. I don't have any hard evidence, but strong evidence showing that this is what's going on, and maybe another faction, maybe us from the future. Also, there's evidence showing that. But I mean,
what evidence? What evidence, James, showing that they're from the future?
Well, not evidence. A lot of witness testimony, but no hard evidence. That's the problem with this field. There's no hard. It's hard to get hard evidence.
Just tell me one. I'm playing devil's advocate here. One case of somebody saying they're from the future or from the past.
That the UFO was maybe us from the future.
Yeah, people say that the same way they surmise anything. If people want to have closure. That's all I'm saying is, and people they come up with a lot of ridiculous things.
Well, that's it. I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying that's what a lot of these different things come from. There's no proof for either one of them, actually, any of them. But overall, if I had to think, I think there's definitely aliens coming here. I think they've been coming here, Gary, for a millennia. And I think they've been coming here for a lot of reasons. And the X factor in this is there's just not one being. There's many different ones that come here that have their own different agendas. That's the X factor that makes this hard. And I do think that one reason they're here and have to do what they do to us is for a substance, either our blood they have to sustain them to be here in this existence, or whether they're hungry. I don't know. But it makes more sense than why they keep experimenting with this over millennia. They'd already know what they need to know, like you've said many times.
Okay, how can people get a hold of you with a news story, either on Earth changes, UFOs, aliens, or toilet paper? How do they get a hold of you?
James, Night Dreams Talk Radio News at gmail.com.
Okay, you each got 30 seconds. What do you want to say?
Go ahead.
I just want to say, go ahead, James. Go.
I was just going to say, hey, keep an open mind out there. Don't let your belief systems handicap you in finding the truth. That's my main thing. And don't misjudge other people or count their accounts. Don't count them as being wrong. Hear them out. You never know. And again, if you've got anything you want news to send me, James Night Dreams Talk Radio News at gmail.com.
Yep, same here. It's Ryan Night Dreams Talk Radio at gmail.com. But I want to say also, don't be afraid to go outside and look up. Yeah. I do it every night, and I'm telling you, you won't be surprised. And that's all I want to say. Great show tonight, guys.
Well, thank you. And remember, as you're signing that light up, maybe they're looking at you. Now, tomorrow's guest coming from the UK is Christopher Berry. We're going to be talking about time travel. So that should be rather interesting tomorrow on Night Dreams Talk Radio. Again, check out our website. It gets updated virtually every day with news stories about, the earth changes, science, and the paranormal at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. Everybody have a great one. We'll catch you tomorrow. Good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
Good night.